Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to look at how to crochet this really easy ribbed cuff. It's super stretchy and adds that perfect finish to lots of different design projects. I happen to have used the granny square design for this cardigan. As a result of using the granny square, the base of the sleeve is actually quite wide, so we're going to work a row of single crochet decreases to bring it in to about here, and then we can start working our ribbed cuff. But don't worry, your project might already be just the width you need it, and the ribbing does pull in the base anyway. Before we start, just to let you know, if you find the underarm seam of your sleeve, follow it down and then attach your yarn with the work right side facing in the bottom here, and this is where we'll start. Insert your hook in that first stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through to attach your yarn, or do it however you normally do. Then work a single crochet in your first stitch, then single crochet two together by inserting your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, then work a single crochet in your next stitch, then decrease over the next 2 stitches by inserting yarn over, pull up a loop, insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 3. Next, we're at a seam here. We've worked into this one. I'm just going to work a single crochet into the actual seam, not into the spaces either side. Then we'll find our next stitch and work a decrease over the next 2, I should say. Then single crochet in the next stitch, decrease over the next 2 stitches, and so on all the way round. So carry on working your decreases and I'll meet you just here where we started. So I'm almost at my last, I'm at my last stitch just here. I've just worked a decrease, then a single crochet. So as I have got an uneven stitch count, I'm actually going to work another decrease to finish off. So work in there and in there. So I've actually finished with 2 decrease stitches, and then this is where we started. This is the top of our very first stitch. We just slip stitch in there. So that completes our row of decreases, and as you can see, it's reduced down the width really well. So there you can see now. This is our decreased area. Next, we're going to work our ribbed cuff. I've just popped a stitch marker in this top of the stitch where we finished off the round of single crochets. I know that I chained 9 for my ribbing on my other sleeve, so I'm going to go ahead and chain 9. However many chains you do decide to do, this will just decide how deep you want the cuff to be. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We don't count this first chain, but what we do, we work a single crochet into the next chain, and you single crochet in each chain all the way down to the base. and you should end up with a total of 8 single crochets. So we're going into the top loop of this length of chains, of each of the chains. This really isn't a difficult stitch, so long as at the base you make sure you know where you're actually working. So this is our bottom chain, so we should have a total of 8 single crochets. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Next we're going to just pop another single crochet, we're going to pop a stitch marker in this stitch just here. All will be revealed in a moment. It will make your life so much easier. Pop a stitch marker in there. So that's our last chain. We're going to skip over this stitch and do a slip stitch in here in the next stitch and a slip stitch into the next stitch. Now we can remove the stitch marker, the original stitch marker, and we're going to pop that into where we've just worked our slip stitch, our last slip stitch. Okay, so now you can see between here and here we've got 2 slip stitches. This is going to be the first stitch of our ribbing. You just bring your work round and insert your hook under the back loop and work a single crochet, pulling everything nice and tight, and then you work a single crochet in the back loop of each stitch to the top. So that's our second single crochet, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and finally 8. Chain 1, turn your work again, and now you're going to work back down. So you obviously skip your turning chain, work into the back loop of the next single crochet and into each of the remaining single crochets, and you should have a total of 8. So this is our third one, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Once again, get your stitch marker and pop it in this back loop of the last stitch that you've just made. And then we're going to slip stitch in the next 2. We know that we're not going in here because that's the base of our ribbing. So with the next stitch we work a slip stitch, and in the next stitch we work a slip stitch, and we turn find the back loop, pull these stitches tightly and work a single crochet, and then we just work back up the ribbing with our 8 single crochets. That is all there is to the ribbing. So long as you know where to insert your hook at the base of the ribbing, you'll be fine. Quite often you'll find when you set off doing this stitch, you'll either miss this one at the top or miss one at the bottom and end up with fewer chains. So if you like, you can even put a stitch marker in this top stitch. It's whatever helps you. But now you can see how it's coming together beautifully. And I think I didn't put the stitch marker in the bottom stitch here, but if we just have a little look, maybe if I explain to you, you can see you have actually worked into this stitch here, but what it does, it tends to pull it across to the side, so you think you need to go in here when you come back down, but no, you always go into the next 2. Okay, so once again we've done a chain 1, turn, skip the chain 1 and work your 8 single crochets down to the base, all into the back loop. Nope, I've gone in twice there. I think you can probably tell I'm getting a little bit tired now, but I'm going to persevere and go down one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now then, it looks like I'm 1 short again. Oh dear, this is what I'm trying to avoid. So, right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we're right. Oh, thank goodness for that. Panic over. I thought, don't tell me I've not done it right, even with the stitch markers. 7 and 8. Once again, definitely going to pop a stitch marker in there. And as I said to you before, just be careful you don't work into here. We've already worked into there. We need to do 2 slip stitches, a slip stitch into each of the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2. And then we could pop a stitch marker in here. So you can see you've worked in there already. And then turn your work and you're all ready to now work into, sorry about this, oh my goodness, right, we'll get there, we will. I'm determined to show you the easy way, and then you work and pull them nicely together and just do your single crochets. As you get used to it, you'll see where these stitches are and you won't need stitch markers. But I think if you've never done this before and you're a learner, I mean a beginner or even an advanced crocheter, but you've just not done it before, it won't take you 2 minutes really to fathom out where the stitches are. But if I confess, I sometimes skip that base stitch not skip it, miss it, and that throws me. But if you just keep a count of your single crochets, you'll be fine. There we are. Oh, that's lovely, as you can see now. Right, so I'll work down again. So we've finished here. Chain 1 and turn, and single crochet all the way down. I'll go down and meet you in a sec. So we're at the bottom now, and I can see that this is our last one. There's a little bar there that lets you know that's your last stitch. We just go like that with a single crochet, and then this time I'm going to leave off this, and hopefully we can have a look at it without. And now we know we need to skip over here and work a slip stitch in each of the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2. So you can see 1, 2, and you know this is the first stitch of your 8 single crochets. So with that in mind, let's see if we can still identify it when we rotate our work round. It's just because this yarn does tend to get in the way. So okay, so we need to take that out as well. Another really easy way would be to count from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you know that's the 8th one, and then just aim for the back loop. But of course my yarn needs to come through here first. There we go. And I think you can see, we just are 1, 2, there we go, and we work our single crochet and our remaining 7 single crochets. So I'll go to the top of the ribbing and meet you in a second. Right, there we go, been to the top. So this is the right side, and this is how the ribbing is coming along. So I'll just continue working all the way around, and I'll meet you when we reach here. So I've worked all the way around now, and I like to finish at the bottom, so I've just worked into the 8th stitch here. We already know we've worked into this stitch, and this is almost where we started. So I'm just going to slip stitch in there, and then I'm not going to crochet up, I'm actually going to sew that little seam. So I'll just snip some yarn, a decent length, and then pull that through. It's a nice tug. So I've just threaded my needle, and I'm literally just going to weave up. If there is a special way to work these seams together so it looks seamless, it's not something I'm that familiar with, but you can leave comments in the description box. Sorry, in the comments section. If you know a way that makes it look like ribbing. I have seen a few videos, but I've never really mastered it myself. But because we're doing this little seam on the other side of the sleeve, you know, the inner arm, you really don't see it. So I think it's going to be absolutely fine. And then I'm just going to tuck it in. So you just weave in as best you can. And that is the little cuff completed. So there we go, both cuffs are now completed. And that's my little cardigan that's been a whip for quite some time, finished. It's just the standard granny square cardigan. I did the reverse, each row reverse for the granny squares, and then I did the rib edging and I edged it with a single crochet as well here, but at the base I did the ribbing too. And then I joined the granny squares with this little join. And the neckline, this isn't my design, by the way. I think they were really trending a while ago, granny squares, and you just made granny squares however you wanted and then just lay them out and sewed them together. And I did the half granny square here and then just did the ribbing round here as well. So there we go, all finished. It might need lining because when I did try it on, I think it's well over a year ago now I made this, I think it's quite cold because the holes are it's quite holy, so I'm not sure. It feels lovely on, but I think I might line it. But if I ever do that, I'll do a tutorial. Right, having said that, thank you so much for watching. Sorry it's been a little bit slower than normal, especially the explanations with all those stitch markers, but I do hope it helped just work out how to do this little ribbed cuff. So once again, thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next video. In the meantime, take care and bye for now.